On a very serious note, it's just good to be here with you, and me not get much time. You know, I'm blessed with the gift of gab, especially because I'm knowledgeable on what I want to talk about, right? So me just have to make you do say, I eat that. You understand? So anyway, Father, just glorify yourself and take over. What I worship a while ago. I say I could have just lie down here a while ago, you know. Yeah, I could have just lie down. But here we are to talk about relationships. Thriving in your relationship. And this morning when I was praying, God has a sense of humor. It was while I was having my devotion this morning that song came to me. That one day that lady they sing, I Will Survive. It came to me and I say, but you can't go play the song that the people in place so appear worshiper go out there. But that was the song that came to me. And specifically because of the attitude and conviction with which she sang the lyrics. Because remember, we're talking about thriving and not surviving. But she talked about surviving with such conviction that it makes sense. Tell somebody it makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah? And so as I thought about it, I thought that, you know, it's kind of funny that I am asked to talk about relationship with self. Because you're a single one, right? As a part of my presentation, because I'm going to talk about two kind of person. I'm going to talk about two specialists. Me like two is better than one. Me and my husband about to celebrate 45 years. Yeah? And about 9 grandchildren. Thereabouts. Some are right there so. You understand? These are children them carrying on that posterity. Not me and him. We done. Right? But yeah, I promote marriage. I'm a marriage advocate. And so I love two better than one. But I'm also cognizant that a lot of issues that are associated with marriage stems from selves. It stems from selves. Yeah? And so it stems from unhealthy selves that take themselves up and go get married to somebody else because them cannot be by themselves. Or go get hooked up with somebody else because them cannot be by themselves. So I know where a lot of the challenges come from, where that is concerned. Try to get this thing to stand up. Pun intended on the word. Rude set of people. Right? So yeah. So it stems from selves. And these selves have no relationship with themselves. The selves when I have no relationship with themselves because them don't know themselves. Yeah, and so you are 50% of self and you take yourself and go hook up with another 50% of self and immediately there's a hospital of selves because nobody no complete, nobody no whole. Yeah, nobody is aware of who they really are. And so that's a problem relationship from the beginning. You understand what I'm saying? So now you have two persons and the situation is twice complicated. Twice magnified. Yeah? And so when this happens, marriage gets into survival mode. And we're not supposed to survive. Not in our marriage. God never wanted that. He never asked for it. And it never happened. You understand? It is the mode that we must be a thriving one. And I really hope that I'm not going to be misunderstood because I adore meaningful relationships. And I am convinced that that's what God wants too. But I'm also convinced that the greatest source that we have is not our money and our career. It's the people in our lives. Somebody said the greatest gift walks into our lives on 2 feet. So it's important that we understand that. Right? And social media, with all the bad that it has, it illustrates to us all the time that we can have 1,000 friends and still be lonely. And that happens to a whole heap of single people. Let me see the other single people again. Because look where I'm over this, I nearly couldn't say no. So enough. Yeah? But I believe, for all that social media says about loneliness, I believe that if you enjoy your own company, you're never lonely. Never lonely. Never. If you truly love yourself and those in us, you're never really lonely. So that a prognosis and the diagnosis is that relationships are meant to thrive and not survive. I don't know which chapter and verse that come from in the Bible in terms of must survive, but it is meant to thrive. And when something is this consequential, when something is this important, you have to be intentional about it. Serious something. Yeah? Because relationships are powerful, you know. Relationships are sent. How many of you know that relationships are sent? Relationships are a God idea, you know. They are sent. God sent people into our lives at one point or another, but we must be able to see the people that God sent. You know, like some single people who look for their husband and then come and then miss them, like the Jews missed Jesus. Yeah? We have to be able to send them. God sent people in our lives, but you must be able to see them. He assigns them to our lives, whoever they are, but you have the responsibility to align them. You have to. Your responsibility is to align them. Like I tell married people, God procured your marriage, and your responsibility to preserve it. It is as simple as that. Yeah? So he sends them, but we must align them. And far too many persons I have found are just surviving in relationship. Lots of women marry for the wow and the no. They don't marry for the everyday. So when the everyday start happening, they want to bail out, because this is not why I got married. Don't know why you got married in the first place. Yeah? When you get frustrated, you want to bail out, but it's when you can weather the frustrations, yeah, then the marriage will work. Because marriage is made in the mind of God, but it's lived right here. And this world full of stress. You understand? So we have to be able to thrive in the relationship. Now, whether it is that the relationship that you have with self or with another person or in marriage or otherwise, surviving is not healthy. It's just a fact. Surviving is not healthy, right? And that's why I spoke to the song that Gloria Gaynor sang about surviving, because of the attitude with which she talked about it, right? It is not, right? And so, without knowing it, when she sang the song, she was determined to thrive. That's what I got from the song. Because different people get different revelation, but that me get from the song. It wasn't a gospel song, but the revelation me get. She was determined to thrive and not necessarily to survive, even though that's what she sang about, right? Now, why is it that we must thrive? We must thrive because we are to be assets to ourselves first, then to the other person, if God bring a person your way. Or just like Kanisha and Kede was talking about a while ago, if you're not first an asset to self, you cannot be an asset to somebody else. That's why God says, love your neighbor as yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup, you know. So you have to first love self. You have to first make self a priority. That's why I'm happy that you're investing in yourselves today. It is important. You understand? Because we have to understand that we have to become people smart, you know. We have to become people smart. We have to know what's happening around us. Because each friend or each relationship is an ingredient that is going to change the equation in your life. And that's why not anybody can come in. That's why not anybody you let in to your life and into your space. Yeah? I was reading a book the other day called Relational Intelligence by Darius Daniels. Yeah? And he talks about it. He said, you must be people smart. Yeah? And so for me and marriage, I just believe that life is better together. Someone once said that, like I tell you, the greatest gift that walks into your life is the person that comes in on two legs. And so you have to know how to manage life. Both as a single person and as a married person, you have to know how to manage the life that God has given to you, because every area of your life will be impacted by your relationships, whether they are spiritual, personal, physical, intimate, whatever it is going to be that. Solomon, the wisest man, said in Proverbs 13:20, he says, walk with the wise and become wise. for a company of fools suffer harm. Bible. Yeah? And that means association breeds assimilation. That's just what it means. There are no casual relationships, is what I'm trying to say. There's no casual relationship. All of them are consequential. For every cause, there's an effect. For every action, there's an equal or greater reaction. Yeah? Relationships are catalytic, you know. You have to understand what they are. They push us forward or they hold us back. They push us down or they lift us up. They bring us either joy or sorrow. They give us either joy or pain. So they're consequential. So we have to know what they are. But they are impactful. And the Apostle Paul says, bad company corrupts good character. And so that's why we have to choose the persons. And I like to get a little bit philosophical here, so, and ask, that text that Paul talked about, why did Paul warn his audience in Corinth about their association, not to be misled? Why did he say that? Could it be that he understands that it is possible, yeah, for us to be oblivious to the impact of another person upon us? So we just let anybody in. We get desperate. Like a lot of you single people. We're getting so desperate because my age is coming off the calendar. I got to freeze my eggs because I got to preserve it. Because like I know God control fertility. You get desperate like you're grabbing at straw, and so the first person comes your way, you are ready to open up the door of your heart. The Bible tells you, say, guard the door of your heart. You are told to guard it. It's not anybody supposed to come in and speak specifically to the single people. No, whether you're single wannabe, you're single separated, you're single divorced, or you're single. Because everybody's single, because some people, Jesus a jump through window in underpants. We're single at church. Yeah? But it's really how you think about your singleness. Never mind me, sorry. I'm just trying to be saved up here. Right? So pray for me while I pray for myself in Jesus' name. I'm looking at the time down there, so yeah. But it's important, it's how you think about your singleness. Because there's loneliness and there's aloneness. But if you don't understand that, then you think that, it's bad. You being alone is bad. It's not bad. It's time for work on you. It's time to make yourself an asset. It's time to build yourself in the process. It's preparation for marriage. So that when you're going to marriage, you're not wanting to be a crutch. And needing a crutch. Because nobody now want liability, Who want liability? Nobody. So it's preparation. All of your single life is preparation for if God bring you to some. Are there any singles here who desire to be married? Let me see the hands of those who don't want to be married. Just you alone, miss. Don't want to be married. Can't bother with no man. Problem and crosses. I bet if she run me too long, she get married. But anyway. Moving right along because, the joys of marriage. But yeah, if you're called, listen, anybody that has a desire for marriage, God intends for you to be married. Once you have a desire. If you don't have a desire, then you're certainly called to be like the Apostle Paul. You're my brother or not twin. But once you have a desire, best know that God intends for you to be married. There's no shame or blame in it. You understand? That you want a man. It's a man you're supposed to want. Nothing wrong with that. But there's a time and place. There's a how and when. And that is what we have to understand. But it has a lot to do with how we think about ourselves. How we treat ourselves. Because you know that the relationship that you have with yourself is the very first relationship that really should matter. The one you have with yourself. The one where you love yourself. Wait for WISS to come for pamper yourself. You drive yourself, walk yourself, take the bus and come down a Pegasus and order them lunch where them share a little bit of something for one corner. Over in one plate and it look good. Yeah. The one where you got Adam and Eve and you max out your credit card. And you get a good rub down because I say you don't have no really body like me. Figure you a rub down right now, you know. But you take yourself and you go yourself, you get a legitimate rub down to relieve all of your pent up stress. The relationship that you have with self, man, is important. And you see, our culture don't tell us about self-love. Our culture and our church. I'm a bishop here just in case you never know. Our culture and our church make you feel like if you love yourself, you are vain. So all the person that were married, them feel guilty if you love themselves. Them feel guilty if you take some time away. My husband knows me I take time. When I come back, I better, I can boom flick. I can roll. I went away to stretch. Society and church not teach you that you're supposed to love self. If you don't love self, you will not be able to love nobody else. You understand? So my husband knows that every month, Carla needs time away from him. I take my 2 days. Look here. I step back so I can come back. And when I come again. Oh, let me not shake off my necklace. Glory to God. Yeah. I have a very fabulous relationship with myself. You know, don't worry about me. I take myself places. I treat myself. I pamper myself. I dress for me. My husband doesn't mind because he knows that when I am the best, he gets the best of me. As he should. Yeah? Self-love is important. So that's the first relationship you have with yourself. But you have to understand yourself first. You have to know yourself first. Because it's how you view, understand, talk with, and respond to yourself and your needs that really matters. It's how you feel in the different parts of yourself, in your mental, emotional, spiritual, soulish part of yourself that really, really matters. When women come to me and them have challenges, bedroom challenge, I ask me if I talk to them about their view of self. That's what I talk to them about, you know, the view of self. Because a lot of the time it's how we see ourselves, how we perform. So you see, if you see yourself as, me can done him. I'm sorry. Let me stick to the script. That was not in the script. Yeah? Yeah, so it's how you feel about all the different parts of yourself. Your body, your moods, your mindsets, and your behavior. And if you treat these parts of yourself with love and support and encouragement and compassion, you know, or even you must know how you're going to treat yourself. If you treat yourself with criticism and disgust over everything that somebody say, then there's very little of you left to go around, much less to give to anybody else. Yeah? But understand, single persons, that this is a season of great opportunities for you. But you must first seek to have a relationship with you. Love you. Pamper you. No matter what nobody say, if them can show you in the Bible where God say, in out of the 513 laws, that you're not supposed to do it, then don't do it. But if they cannot show you, you have a legitimate reason to love you. For God said that you should love you. You understand? So you have to be patient with you. Because bad experiences with untimely relationships, it leaves scars on your soul like tattoo we can't erase. And that's why I want you to take your time. I saw one divorced person in the room. Take your time, girl. There is no expiry date on how long you should wait again. before you get into another relationship. But stand up and make everybody know so you have goods. So you can get in our next relationship. Nothing wrong with that. But take your time to find you so that you can reinvent you so that whoever I go get you again. Yeah. They might get the best. They might get my God good. Good as. Because you took the time to fix yourself. Because of course you don't want a repeat of that. Because mistakes are not mistakes. So if you have to do it over and over, you understand? No. Take your time and get yourself ready. If it is that's where, well, I'm the only one person that said they never want married. So I figure you're among the ones that want to get married. Yeah? But don't be desperate and watching the calendar and say the clock running away with you. Who said that? A lot of women, I am a marriage officer, a lot of women are married in later years now. And enjoying themselves too. You understand? And children are being born. And if it is that you don't feel like that's where you want to go, then they can be adopted. Because we'll put them out there, that's why the foundation is being set up. You understand? But desperate girls do desperate things when they don't feel loved. So love yourself first. Because desperation is a loss of hope that you can ever make it, ever get married. I had a little corner up on my ministry, you know. We call it the Judah corner. Somebody laugh over this. So. It was all of the worship team were single. All of the worship team, 3 years ago, all of the worship team was single. Now almost all of the worship team married. Let me say means a marriage magnet, so it done, you understand? And you're somebody over this has said, bless God when you chose stone and pig pen who ball out, you know you go. Yeah? People get desperate and settle. Do not settle or you will get what you settle for. Don't settle. You're going to get what you settle for. Yeah? And I am not saying, remember me now, I said, God wanted to be single forever. That's a lie from the pit of hell. So we send it back. Yeah? But don't push to take matters in your own hand. Waiting is important. I tell people I have a degree in waiting. And God. You understand? So, while you are waiting, prepare for your future, man. Use this time as preparation. Marriage is a covenant. When you're single, you have a covenant with God. And in your carrying out the fidelity to that covenant is preparing you to be faithful in your relationship. That's how you're supposed to see it. You understand? So no rush nothing. Just have a relationship with yourself. And you cannot have a thriving relationship with yourself if you don't see yourself as the asset that you are supposed to be. Because you're all of that and so much more. So, right? You need to know all of that first. Right? And it's not about being self-centered and being selfish either. Yeah? Because when we love and accept ourselves unconditionally, then we are better able to love other person. I've been talking to my ministry about, I call it SI, spiritual intelligence, because last time everybody have AI. A BI, so I say SI, spiritual intelligence. We cannot be children of God and dons. God see a fool, but he not keep fool. You understand? So spiritual intelligence is important. But I want to also talk to you about EI, emotional intelligence. Yeah, emotional intelligence. That's understanding and developing an understanding and awareness of you. A good awareness of you. It is crucial to you fostering or forging any kind of relationship, both with yourself and with other persons. You understand? Because it refers to our ability to recognize, to understand, and to manage our own emotions. Us ladies, we like to be up into our, Lord have mercy. We're full of feelings, and then we a lot of the times we react and not respond. You think I could have kept one man for 45 years of your reaction? You think I could have looked all this good? If I was reacting to everything, don't make everything bother you. You understand? We react a lot to situations and people and things, and it wearies us and it pulls us down and it makes us look so not fabulous. The correct thing to do is to respond, you know. But because we are a full composite of emotions, ladies, we tend to want to react and react and react. And it just tires us out. Don't do that. develop the emotional intelligence about yourself that you need to have so that you can manage your stress level. I tell people, nobody makes me cry. Nobody. Not even my husband. I cry if I want to cry. Nobody no make me laugh either. It no matter how you think your joke is funny. I have learned, which means that I have been through some stuff. And I have made a decision about my emotion because they are mine. God never give you my emotions to walk up and down in your chest. It's mine. So I have learned how to govern my emotions. I am not going to give you the pleasure of hurting me multiple times. So I made a decision about my emotions. So people who want to say, is him cause me to do it or she cause me to do it, is lie telling on people. Because, you're supposed to be able to control that. Just like the ones of you who, is somebody have to make you happy. Why? Make yourself happy. Happiness is circumstantial. Make yourself happy. It is your responsibility. You understand? So you have to do what is important for you so that you can thrive where you are supposed to thrive. Even in our marriage, emotional intelligence helps us to cultivate trust and deepen our intimacy and foster a sense of connection when we know who we are. When I know what I bring to Mr. Dunbar, when I ask, when I ask the young people, let me hear I said, I don't know if you say right, if you say ask Christ. I don't really know. When I ask, what I do. I'm not asking that when I'm finished with my responsibilities, what is going to be the impact of that? Because I know what I'm carrying. I know who I am. Him not have to tell me, although him have to tell me. But I know. You understand? So when you are connected with your own emotions and the emotions of those around you, then you can respond with either empathy or understanding to whatever the situation is, and it leads to more harmonious relationship. I see it every day. And because all of us, as I say, ladies, emotions is who we are. Females run on emotions like America run pan Dunkin' Donuts. I could have said like how Jamaica run pan KFC, but it not match. So you have to learn from your emotions because they inform you. For instance, if you get angry, you know that somebody crossed the line. Your emotions are teaching you something. You understand? So all of your emotions, they are legit because God gave you them. Whether it's to laugh or to cry or to get angry or to get frustrated, there's something that you must learn from it. But you have to take the time to learn from it. That's why I say you mustn't react. Because when you make a decision in emotional imbalance, you're doing yourself an injustice. So you have to calm down and step back from the situation, assess it, and then you come out and you come good. So it's important that you know yourself. Mindfulness is an important thing for anybody at all. You understand? And even if it's after divorce, it's how you rebuild yourself. You understand? It's how you rebuild yourself, grieving in a healthy way, and then how you reset and restart again, because that is going to happen too. I think it was Bill Keane who said, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift of God, which is why we call it present. Yeah? And life can only be understood backwards. Like we say, if me did know. So life can only be understood backwards. It's after you have done the thing, sometimes you understand, oh boy, I never did say it's supposed to go. Life can only be understood backwards, but it has to be lived forward. Yeah, it has to be. And so you realize that our mistrust of the future and the things is hard to get past. Some of you, your past and all of that. But we can reinvent as we forge out the relationship. A very good friend of mine, Ruth Taylor, who had shared her story, and my daughter showed the other day, of 3 failed engagements. More than a bad, she trang. But she shared something that was very poignant. She said the new design for your life must begin with an analysis of your past and an evaluation of your present life before you can plan ahead. She continues to say, take time to understand your personality profile and your gifting, because all of us have it. And I believe that is so correct, because if you don't know, you won't know you are giving or what you are bringing to the table. You have to know these things. So she said, take the time to understand your personality profile. When persons come, and I'm doing coaching because I'm also a coach, because there are a lot of single persons who really don't know where they want to go. So it's not just I'm not just a counselor or a therapist, I'm a coach. And sometimes when they come and you ask them, and I ask them, so who are you? They start telling me what they don't like, what they like. And I'm asking you, who are you? They don't know who you are. So where you can go give somebody? If you don't know intrinsically who you are, you can't even describe yourself. You're telling me about your likes and your dislikes, and that's not what I ask. It's so important. You did hear Dr. Pastor Sarah this morning? Lady get to learn who she is. When she said, but me come from so. And me know so. So all this is so. It's so important. Because when you know that you walk with confidence, you stand up with confidence, you enter into everything with a certain level of confidence. Because you know, knowing you is the highest height of wisdom, you know. Knowing the you that you are is the highest height of wisdom. God says, my people suffer because of lack of knowledge. Knowing the you that you are is the highest height of wisdom. People who know are trailblazers. People who know matter, and they don't matter what the matter, because you know. So you have to know, man, it's important. It's critically important to you fostering any form of relationship. You just have to know that if you're going to start again, reinvention is not an overnight process. It will take a little time. You have to brush yourself off good and come again. You have to get up from wherever you fell to rise up again and to walk into whatever that is. And if that's a failed marriage, I saw. I love marriage, I hate divorce, but I know that there's a place for it. And I know that sometimes it has to happen. You understand? But you can't stay there where you built in tent, there's a far. And I make house. Move away from it. It happened already. You can't change the past, but you can live in the present and do something about the future. You understand? So you have to know what you're doing, man. And when you're reinventing your life, like I said, not rush it, because oftentimes, as with business, I say a nice business discussion is going to come up. As with business, it might be a 3 to 5 year process to reinvent yourself, to reassess, to know what you want, to know what you will tolerate in this next season of your life, to look back at the thing that you had tolerated and to see if they were to your advantage or your disadvantage. And then you're able to move on again. You're able to plan carefully and exercise patience with yourself. And then you move on. So I thought you might need a few things for that. And I'm speaking more specific. Well, all of you can get it. Is strategy. It's important that you decide what you want in your next relationship. If you're coming out of one, will never work. If it is that you have never been in one, you still need a strategy. If you don't know where you're going, somebody say any road is going to take you there and it's going to be nowhere. So you need a plan, you need a strategy. What do you want in the next relationship or the next life? How are you going to work towards this? You need a strategy. Yeah? And then you need to count the cost, because no relationship or marriage is perfect, because nobody is. And a lot of the times we enter into a relationship and we want the partner to be perfect. Like me that try to fix my husband so much. And he said to me one day, Carla A, try to change me. I said, me? Why me not do that? But you know, after I go in a little corner and God said, I really true, you try to change. But of course, I never tell him. I never tell him. I acknowledge it to myself, pray, Pastor, pray for me. Yeah, you know, you count the cost. We want persons to be perfect, but we are not. So how you going to get that? And then you set the expectation so lofty and high. I'm not saying you shouldn't have standards, but they are unrealistic because you want an ideal marriage. That's not there. That's why it's named ideal. It's not there. You're going to have bumps and grinds. You're going to have problem. You're going to have local stress coming with it. You never hear for better, for worse. You never hear for richer, for poorer. You never hear in sickness and in health. Some of you want to take that out of the vows these days and write on your own vows and say for better, for better. It is not a curse like I hear some people saying it's a curse, so you mustn't say it. No, it is telling you that life is filled with all of these. You understand? It's a part of life. Jesus never got through it too. So why you think you must escape it? Who are you? Yeah? So count the cost. And then, as I talked earlier, I said personal development. It is so important. What do you need to work on in you so that you can be better for the next relationship? Financial assessment. Now, most times this is a major part of breakup in every relationship. Money. People spend money, but they're not talk about money. Just like on the sex, you know, they'd have sex, but you're not talk about it. And it is on the spectrum of the top 3 things that causes a relationship to mash up. So if it is that there was an issue there, and most of the time there are issues there because they are unspoken, so you need to look at that. Where are you now? Know that you have come out tight, or know that you're making a preparation. Where are you? Are you going to be the asset or the liability? Which part of them? Yeah? And then you exercise courage, man, and patience. Feel the fear about entering into another relationship, but do it anyway. You can. Fear not come from God anywhere. It's crippling and debilitating, right? But because of what you have been through, some of you, Pastor, talk about the trauma this morning, you might not want to. But just know that it's going to be a bit rough at the beginning, but it can smooth out. Yeah? And then establish your why. Why do I need this? Some people cannot stand themselves. So somebody else needs to be in this space. You need to know that. Yeah? Know why you want this. Because your responses to the why is going to be a rod on your staff. So it's important that you know that. Why you want a partner, why you want a marriage. Like I said, people marry for the now and the wow. They marry because they can married. They marry because they're 18. They marry because RGD allow them to marry. But they don't know nothing about marriage. You don't know nothing at all about marriage. Nothing, absolutely nothing at all about marriage. You know, you think it's just to walk down the aisle. And the honeymoon period. I heard sister talk about cycles this morning. Relationship and marriage have cycles too. And every day at a honeymoon. And so you have to know that they're going to be ebb and flow and dip and come up. Right? And then you must get support. There is safety and wisdom in the multitude of counsel, the Bible says. Now do it alone. Go to a therapist, go to a coach, go to somebody to help you. And to help you if you assess the people where you want to get in your life. You understand? Seek guidance and assurance, man. It's important. Life doesn't get better by chance, you know. It does not get better by chance. It has to be intentional. So for those of you who are single, know what you want and know where you're going. Jim Rohn says, ask yourself the question, 10 years from now, you will arrive, but where? 10 years from now, you'll arrive, but where? Because you will either arrive at a well-designed destination or you will be at an under-designed destination. You have to figure out what. Yeah? And you don't want to fool yourself or be a fool about anything. Because, ladies, you have to understand, you know, your status, in your status now, is the time where you need to start working on the next 10 years. Right now, which part of it? Wherever you are in it. I am working right now on my next 10 years. I have a plan for this year, how many things I want to accomplish. Be with that I'm married, but there are things I want to accomplish, and I'm looking at the next 10 years because I ask God forgive me more than 10 years. I ask him a long time. I don't know if that's the rule, but he can always double it. You understand? Because of my journey that I've been through and I've died 4 times and all of them something there. I ask him more time. So I'm planning my next 10 years. You need to do it too. You understand? Because you don't want to engage in disillusion, you know. You don't want to be hoping without acting. You don't want to be wishing without doing. You want to be there. The key is to look now and say, this is where I'm at, and here's where I want to be, and this is what's going to take me there. It's important. Because if you just hope in yourself for any relationship, toxic relationship can ruin your life. So you have to know, be careful and put the right boundaries in place. It is so critical, and I can't talk about healthy relationship without talking about the communication and the boundary. Because in our lives, if we don't have effective communication, it's not going to work out. And a lot of the times we communicate, but it's not effective. We're not speaking the language that we're supposed to be speaking. We're not understanding how we're supposed to speak. So we have to know that, because communication is the foundation of any successful relationship. I am the talkative person in my relationship. My husband is what is called a reserve. So I am the proactive, he's the reactive. I have long since stopped seeing my husband's passivity and his reactiveness as a negative. I have seen it now as a positive for the last couple of years, and it's the best time of my relationship. I mean, him can't do nothing for me, left him again. Of course, him can't left me. But that's because I shifted my focus. I shifted my focus because I used to just see him passivity and him regression as just something that is so negative. Be a man. Why do I have 3 sons? But when I started to see how his passivity complemented my ever-ready battery self, it complemented me, because our differences are meant to complement and not complicate. But it's when we want them to be like us, like I was trying to make him over like I am his manufacturer. But when I started to read the manual where him come with, I realized say, the two of we couldn't stay the same way, because he's spicy like curry chicken and him bland like boiled chicken. And we make a good complement. We complement each other. Yes, because he slows me down. He help me to look this good. You understand? And then when he need a little push, yeah, gently do, you know. I don't make him feel like me a push him, you understand? Because man, you know, you can't make him feel like you push him. So be self-aware. Be self-aware. Understand what you want out of the relationship. And take care of yourself. It is important, because remember, you're an asset first. Yeah, you're an asset first. So you have to take care of yourself. Yeah, I always encourage couples, you know, in therapy to strengthen your ability to communicate, man, with each other. Because when you can do that, the irony is, you know, is that we are more linguistic and much more talkative than our Caribbean men specifically are. And furthermore, the culture allowed them to be silent. The culture created silent men. Because if man talk too much, they must sissy. Yeah, girl, you chat so much. So they grew up being silent. And we were allowed to express ourselves. But you have to just understand how to make the dynamic work. Because it can work. You understand? So you have to know how to communicate effectively about that, while you're taking care of yourself and doing all that you're supposed to be doing and watching my time. Yeah? Because like I started out, I said, we're uncommon women. So you see, if you know yourself as an uncommon woman and wife, then you will only be remembered, you will understand that you'll only be remembered for 2 things in life, you know. The problem that you solve or the problem where you create. Me intend for die, you know, nicely, look good. Yeah, I know I'm going to dead one day. You understand? But I'm going to die effectively. Very, very serious. I am going to die effectively. The dash on my gravestone going to say something about me. It now got us dead. You understand? So I know that I am going to be remembered. And I want to be remembered for the problems I solved, whether in my life or the life of any other people. Not the problems I create. And I would have created some problem, you know, but I think some is a goody 2 shoes. You understand? I created some problems. But I don't want to be remembered for the problems. I want to be remembered for the ones that I solved. And if you're an uncommon woman, you will always focus on your energy and on your future and the future of those around you. And so you have to become what I call a tomorrow thinker. You have to think about where you're going, what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, whether in your family or however. My husband and I are alone now because the children are married and gone about their business. Thanks be to God. So we get for do what we do right now. We not have to think about nobody. Like that. You understand? I mean, we still are very connected to them. You know, when they come around and when they call us and stuff like that. But we are enjoying ourselves now. And we are thinking, a travel time now for we. He's retired now, and a travel time now for we. It's to do ministry together because I know when I get him music can join me in a ministry. He was always very supportive. Right? But no, a travel time for us. So make your tomorrow so significant, man, that yesterday disappear. So you think tomorrow, you think down the so. Because somebody said that yesterday's success is today's mediocrity. So you have to try to think ahead as an uncommon woman about what you want out of life, what you want out of the relationships that you are forging, formulating, or will forge and formulate. You think about what you want out of them. Remember Ruth? That's what she did. She created a future that was different from her past. That's what she did as she walked. She became a tomorrow thinker. When her mother-in-law said, stay down here, she said, "For what? I know we're down here already. I don't know what this about me. I come." The lady tell her, but I don't have no pity for you can't marry to her. She no business. Yeah? Because when you replay the past, you poison the present. When you replay your past, that's what you do. You poison the present. Be willing, man, to go where you have never been before because geography make a difference. The person where you look for might not mind your locality. But go out and look and you might find the person. If you're an uncommon person, you'll be able to carefully assess that and know what to do. And wives, you need to remember that your husband is not an experiment. He's an assignment. Yeah? He's a God idea. God planned him and he's an assignment. And if you're an uncommon wife, you will know this and you'll treasure him. And you'll divinely align yourself to him as a gift from God. You will meet his needs. We'll talk about that one next time. You can't improve on a divine instruction, you know. God give us an instruction and they are that. God has qualified you if you're a wife to be the perfect person for your husband. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And I know this is a responsibility and it comes with a lot of things. But every gift from God will be contested by Satan. So you have to know, say, he might come up against your marriage. And some things are going to seem chorish and bothersome and can't bother with. But when you're an uncommon woman, you walk with purpose, you do things with excellence. Because that is who we are. Because when I look at me kind. Me's a kind Christian, I'm a share man. So therefore, I'm going to take care of my husband. Because I'm not share with nobody. So I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. And there are times when I don't feel like it, like some of you. But I know what I got to do. And I am going to do it. God going to come catch me and do it. So, get your priorities in order. Take care of yourself. Do what you have to do to ensure that you love self, take care of self, think always about self, and then prepare yourself if you're single for the next level. And if you're married, stay married because marriage is built to last. There's always maintenance. The God who made it said it can and it will. Oh, come, Alicia.
You just have to make sure you finish.
Me done. At the time I done. Me did have more time. Oh, okay.
No, definitely not.
All right, me know. Because when I'm talking about marriage, you know, I can talk until tomorrow.
This is a keynote. So we just receive Bishop Dunbar, who, I mean, quite frankly, has spoken ad nauseum about marriage over her many years. She will be, you're going to go to your table at some point? Will you be here tomorrow? Okay. Please, if you have the time, if you're married, single, or divorced, if you have the time, talk to her. Ask her something, anything. Because I promise you, you will be changed just like you were a while ago. Ask her one away. Sometimes Q&A for Bishop Dunbar can get very out of hand. And she will answer you properly, like last year when she tell a lady who asked about, what if I didn't know? What if we don't know the sexual orientation of our husband before we get married? She said, look here, go to a proper counselor. That can't miss me. Well, remember who was here? You remember? That cannot miss me. So you have to go to a proper counselor.
Bless you. God bless you. God bless you. I'll be sitting
Big
outside.
up Bishop Dunbar.